Hello and welcome. This video will prove how RWBY explores the themes of racism, the depiction of the faunus race, and its evolution in the wildfang community. This video will prove this by firstly explaining what faunas are and some history about them. Then it will be talking about the wildfang community and its evolution. Finally, this video will be strengthening its point by relating things from RWBY to acts of racism in the world. In the world of RWBY, faunas are a sentient species that resemble humans in every aspect, except for possessing a single animalistic trait, such as cat ears, monkey tail, or bear claws. According to the show's law, faunas have existed for as long as humans, if not longer, and biologically speaking, they are classified as humans. In this series, early men were afraid and didn't understand the faunas, and it's often the case with things people don't understand, various stories circulate about them. He will avoid them, push them out of settlements, and even hunt them down. After a while, humans realized that they weren't so different from the faunas, but that didn't stop the mistreatment. Humans started using them for all sorts of labor, as well as alienating them. This lasted many years, into a great war between the kings of Atlas, Mistral, Vacua, and Vale, which is when the faunas started to be treated like humans, not wild animals or slaves. They were finally treated like humans, because they fought alongside humans on the front lines. To be fair, they were probably forced to fight in the wars though. After the Great War, man gave faunas a small continent and promised fair treatment across the kingdoms to apologize for the way it had been treated before the wars. However, the island most consisted of desert, and the fair treatment they were promised varied from place to place. Now we will discuss the White Fang community and its evolution. The White Fang community started as a peaceful faunas activist group. They wanted equal rights across the world for faunas, and to improve the relationship between faunas and humans. It would rally and boycott any organization discriminating against the faunas, but these methods were ineffective. When the old leader stepped down, the new leadership took over and the group became more radical. Many faunas didn't like the new aggressive and violent ways, feeling that the group would be turned into more of a cult. This led to many faunas leaving the community. The new ways included firing stalls that refused to serve them, and sabotaging targeted organizations that used faunas for labor. The new ways were working. They were getting treated like proper citizens, but it wasn't out of respect. Instead, it was because humans were scared of what would happen to them if they mistreated faunas. They technically accomplished their goals though, so the White Fang community became less active, but that didn't stop one faction of the community. That faction span off from the main community and became more like a gang or terrorist group. They continued to cause havoc because their leader believed they were better than humans and didn't want equality. Instead, he wanted superiority, which led to many faunas who were not a part of the gang or cult to being attacked, discriminated, and incriminated for acts that the White Fang had committed. Now you can already see relations to racism, with both faunas and people of color being enslaved, wrongfully accused for acts they didn't commit, and were both alienated, avoided, attacked, and killed, all because they were slightly different from the normal man. Now this video will relate things from RWBY's history to acts of racism across our history, starting with branding and punishment of slaves. Slaves were usually branded and punished by companies or their owners. to dehumanize them and to give others the impression that they were to be treated like goods or livestock. Branding was usually done with a branding iron. It'd be heated up and then placed on the slave's skin to singe a symbol on the slave. We see it take place in RWBY through the way that Adam Taurus looks. Adam typically wears a mask to cover his eyes and a long back suit that covers all of his skin. This was to cover up the fact that he used to be enslaved to work in the mines. We never see any mark on his body, but we do eventually see him without his mask, where we can see a company's brand along his eye. Something we also took place in RWBY was a segregation era of sorts. The segregation era was an era where African Americans were forced to live by labels and signs. They could only go to colored schools, live in colored areas, and use rations and drink taps labeled colored. Well, RWBY had something similar, but theirs would only last 3 years. In those 3 years, all foreigners were forced to live in Menagerie, which is a small desert continent. The humans gifted them. Instead of living in one of the kingdoms, instead of living in one of the 4 kingdoms, leaving both foreigners and African Americans to be alienated from the normal society. Another instance is the accusatory of crimes for both African Americans and foreigners, because both have been accused of many crimes which neither have committed. The only reason this video didn't dedicate another part to this is because this happens across all 3 both communities' history, and there is no real instance of wrongful imprisonment or anything like that in RWBY. Only people accusing foreigners of committing crimes, which is the point, but we never see anyone take action alongside these accusatories. With that, this brings the video to an end. Bye.